Well, in the last 30 minutes, Gervonta just bonded out of jail. Behind me, he was arrested this morning on the charge of battery and domestic violence. That brand new video here, you can see him walking out of the side of TGK, using his T-shirt to cover his head, surrounded by correctional officers and what is his manager. Now, although we asked him questions about these allegations, he did not say anything to us. He just went immediately into the SUV, waiting for him on the side. Now, Davis was.
Gervonta Tank Davis is finally breaking his silence. Firing back hard at allegations he calls a money-hungry smear campaign and accusing Jake Paul of using the controversy as an excuse to run from their fight. After the November 15th bout was canceled, Paul blasted Davis on X with one of the harshest takedowns boxing has ever seen, calling him a nightmare to work with, a walking piece of garbage, chronically late, unprofessional, and most damaging of all, a woman abuser he refused to promote or pay. It was a calculated character assassination meant to destroy Tank's reputation overnight. But Davis insists the accusations are lies. The lawsuit is a setup. And the real reason for the cancellation is that Jake Paul never wanted the smoke in the first place. Tank Davis, notorious for his impulsive social media habits, fired back in a now-deleted post. But screenshots quickly preserved his side of the story. Refusing to accept the abuser label, Davis flipped the narrative and accused his ex-girlfriend of lying for money and clout, insisting the entire allegation is a setup designed to derail his career and give Jake Paul an easy escape from the fight.
Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis canceled.
So what happened? Gervonta put hands on his wife?
Man, you know what I heard? I heard that Gervonta Davis was being very difficult to work with and Netflix was just waiting for a reason. You know, you saw what Jake Paul tweeted. Jake Paul said Gervonta Davis is an actual walking human piece of garbage. Working with him is an absolute nightmare. The unprofessionalism, the bizarre requests, the showing up hours late to shoots, the numerous arrests and related accusations and lawsuits. If you support this man, you support the most vile sin a man can commit. What else to say? I didn't want to give this woman abuser a platform to grow his fans and to grow his bank account. My company champions women. I'm so sorry to everyone involved, mostly to the undercard fighters, to my team at MVP, and to my team who worked so hard prepping for this fight, sacrificing time with loved ones and kids just for this fool to lose his unintelligent mind again. It's scary that devilish men like this can rise to the top of culture and sports, including in positions of power. I hope you people moving forward look beyond his fake streetwear pieces, swag, and search for something deeper to be a fan of. As for me, it's on to the next one. As always, anyone, anytime.
Tank doubled down in his deleted post, accusing his ex of running a shakedown operation and calling her shoddy, claiming she has a history of targeting wealthy men. He insisted he's only being accused because of his fame and reputation. He's telling fans, "It's me," so y'all believed it, arguing the public is quick to judge him based on his bad boy image. His stance is clear. He sees the lawsuit not as a pursuit of justice, but as a money grab. And he's furious the fight was canceled over what he believes is nothing more than a calculated hustle.
Whether or not Gervonta Davis gets charged in a criminal court of law, and whether or not that goes through to the point where he actually gets put in jail for doing something like that. If that does not happen, and he does not have any other issues with this, then this is not another case of him being guilty. This is another case of somebody accusing him of something that they could not prove. Let me repeat. Gervonta Davis has gone to court 2 times with battery accusations. Both times they were thrown out. Do you know what that means? That means that they did not prove it. They did not meet their burden of proof. Gervonta Davis is no longer accused. But that's okay, because we know in the reality, that's not how the American justice system works on a day-to-day basis. People want it for themselves when they're in court, when their family's in court, but most people are never going to get charged for these things. Most people are never going to be in a court of law. for anything above a traffic ticket. So you can sit back and think, well, it doesn't apply to me. I would never put myself in that scenario. But sometimes people are put in those situations. Sometimes people make mistakes and people's actions are misinterpreted and things happen. That's why you have to go to a court of law to find out whether the man, and if the court of law finds him guilty, then put him in jail, and it is what it is.
Tank didn't stop at attacking his accuser. He aimed straight at Jake Paul's moral high ground, claiming Paul wasn't disgusted by the allegations at all, but terrified of the fight. In his deleted post, Tank alleged that Paul was getting beat up in camp and used the lawsuit as a convenient escape hatch. He implied Paul's training was going so badly that the legal news became his get out of jail card to avoid an embarrassing loss on Netflix. Everything happens for a reason, Tank wrote, suggesting he didn't stress over the cancellation because he believes Paul simply wanted out and hid behind morality to protect himself.
Has never been convicted of a sexual assault. He has not. He has been accused, and they dismissed it. In this particular instance, he's still not even been charged yet. But yet he's convicted in the court of public opinion. So when I look at Jake Paul's actions, I just wonder, dude, were you just going to get your ass whooped in this fight and you didn't want to get whooped? Or was the ticket sales low and you don't want to get out of paying the money and you use this opportunity to do it? Because the fact of the matter is, Jake Paul himself has faced sexual assault allegations. Himself. He's been accused by multiple people. My understanding is himself of that. Jake Paul jumps on his soapbox talking about what he feels for women, but yet he just got done fighting Mike Tyson, who is a convicted rapist with 1,000 assault allegations out on him. So if it's just the accusations, then what are you doing fighting Mike Tyson? If you're okay with people being dismissed because of accusations, then why was Jake Paul asking for forgiveness and understanding when he was being accused? See, that's why I don't believe this. I don't believe it.
Understand how Jake Paul was able to cancel the fight so abruptly. You have to look at the legal storm Tank is currently facing. This isn't rumor, it's a civil lawsuit filed in late October by his ex-girlfriend, Courtney Russell, alleging a disturbing incident at Tootsie's in a nearby parking garage. The suit accuses Davis of battery and essentially holding her against her will, painting a picture of aggression and control that, while unproven in court, is serious enough to trigger immediate consequences. And this was the smoking gun Jake Paul needed. Regardless of Tank's claim that it's a money grab, the existence of official legal documents gave Paul the contractual leverage to walk away without penalty. It also reinforced the bad boy narrative that has shadowed Tank for years, making it even harder for the public to offer him the benefit of the doubt.
You face legends. I mean, now you got Tank, but you've had Anderson Silva. How does facing somebody like this in his prime, how does that differ compared to some of the other guys that you faced before?
Yeah, this is the toughest fight for me from an experience standpoint. I know he's in his prime, 30-0 or whatever it is, undefeated, top 10 pound for pound fighter. I respect Tank a lot, and that's why I'm excited he's going to bring the best out of me. And I have to be prepared. I have to be the most locked in I've ever been, and that's what makes this a massive fight. So much is at stake because we're young, and we're just on the tip and the brink of our careers and coming into greatness in our primes, like you said. And so the loser of this fight is going to be the embarrassment of the world. Their fan base is going to be let down, and everyone's going to see that, and it could be a career-ending loss, and that's what makes this exciting.
Tank, along those lines, listen to what he just said. Do you feel any pressure at all? Only because you're so good, and yet you're fighting this guy who's relatively new to the sport. And I'm sure there are a number of people, millions that are going to be watching, going to be expecting a knockout.
Yeah, I feel like it's no pressure on me. The only pressure on me is when I put pressure on myself. You know, that's why I'm not going out here and saying I'm gonna knock him out or anything like that. You know, so we just gonna put on a great show.
Beef didn't stay personal, it exploded into the business side of the promotion. Tank went after Jake Paul's company, Most Valuable Promotions, accusing MVP of being completely unqualified to handle an event of this scale. In another deleted post, he praised his own advisor, Al Heyman, claiming Heyman had to take over because MVP didn't know what they were doing. Tank flat out called MVP garbage and said y'all run nothing at Netflix.
What do we think's going on with Gervonta Davis? I think he's 31 now, I think, and you're not in your 20s anymore to be messing up with the domestic violence stuff and everything. And apparently PBC had this date ready to go for him, and it's just, if you're chomping at the bit to right the only wrong on your record, you didn't lose, but you got a draw, then why? I don't know. But shouldn't you be so focused getting ready for this rematch that this kind of stuff can't happen? But I mean, it happened on Father's Day, and it sucks to even get into these guys' personal lives. Not something I think we really want to get into, but when you're replacing the news headlines with the fights, with the stuff in the ring, with the stuff outside of the ring, we got to go there and talk about it. And there's just really no excuse short of a woman, I don't know, threatening the lives of your children or something. You got to have the self-control to keep your hands to yourself. There's no excuse for it. And this isn't the first time he's done it either. So not trying to dogpile on the guy. I mean, the sky is blue, water is wet, and putting your hands on a woman is wrong. I don't think people need me to tell them.
Y'all are just workers. This exposes a massive power struggle behind the scenes. Tank sees himself backed by real boxing infrastructure, while he views Jake Paul and his team as amateurs pretending to run big-time events. To him, the cancellation wasn't just about a lawsuit. It was about control, ego, and who really had authority over the show.